So it's a Friday night. What are you planning on doing?
You are now listening to Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. Let's get into it.
Episode 153, Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. Bear with me for 1 second. I just gotta fix this fucking pop filter. It's a big ass fucking fly in here. One of those fucking prehistoric flies. So I had to get him out of here. But before I got him out of here, I was swatting at him and shit. And I fucking whacked the pop filter and neglected to fix it before hitting the red button. So 153 episodes in, man. I've been listening to a lot of old episodes lately. Like, I think the last one I listened to was like 32 or something like that. And I know this is kind of fucked up. This is like a give and take kind of thing. I used to just be a lot more calm, talk like this. And then I would tell a story, and then maybe I would laugh a little bit. And then... And I think I would talk like that because I wasn't really comfortable. So I was just kind of, wasn't very enthusiastic. And the quality of the audio was way better than it is now, and I haven't changed anything. But I think it's just because the software... the minimal editing, and I say editing, but I mean, I don't cut anything. It's just, I fucking do a noise reduction and a fucking hard limiter and amplify. That's it. Like, I try to keep this shit as simple as possible. It's not fucking perfect. It's not, like these professional ones, but anyway, the point is with my voice and my, my excitement going here and there, I think it confuses the software a little bit and kind of makes it a little harder to deal with. But anyway, that's fucking Limited Trust for you. When you take a melon head, put a fucking 5-6-year-old, probably closer to 10-year-old fucking Google Stream book that was $200 10 years ago, that has so little memory it can't even download the Windows update because there's not enough fucking hard drive space. It's like this known problem. Isn't it funny? Man, if I ever did that with Devastator, release some shit with a massive known problem where the fucking basically rendered the shit stuck in the fucking whatever era it came out in, man, I would be in big trouble. But Google and Hewlett Packard just said, fuck it. They won't be able to update Windows. Big deal. It's only $190 piece of shit. But that's what the podcast is. Anyway. So that's what you get, man, when you get that kind of stuff. One of these days, I'm gonna make an investment and get an actual fucking computer, like a real computer, where I can do all of the shit that I need to do on it and make a dedicated space. Well, see, but that's the fucking problem, actually. Like, I want to have the studio like I'm in now that I don't have anymore, and I'm really just enjoying looking at it, but this is just a thing of the past. In the next fucking few weeks here, I'm going to be moved the fuck out of here. I like the mobility of laptops and shit, so I would hate to have like a studio area, but then also try to use the laptop for, shipping and printing and fucking and graphics and the website and this and that. So I could almost see myself getting another nicer, an actual investment computer and only using it for certain things. And have all these different dedicated systems for fucking nothing. But I mean, not for nothing, but, And just like usual, I'm using, what the fuck Audition am I using? I don't even remember what let's see. Adobe Audition help. About. Adobe Audition CS6, 1992 to 2012. And I used Audition, I think the last one I used was Audition 3.0 before CS6. And I think this one, I'm not sure, but I think this is the last one where it's standalone and doesn't need a subscription. So that being said, this will probably be the last one that I ever use. And everyone knows that I have no problem using super outdated software, especially when it works for what I need to do. I can't say that about everything, because there are certain softwares that have come a long way, and it's way, way more conducive to use that in whatever you're doing, like we'll just say business and invoicing software, shit like that, which I don't use. But if I were to use it in my other job that I do, that you would want the updated shit where you could fucking take the invoice and hit the button and it emails it and does all this shit. You don't have to print and scan and blah, blah, fucking blah. Anyway, couple things here. So today is Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to set this up to post tomorrow. What the fuck is this? Oh, shit. Damn, I'm going to have to look at this a little bit closer, but I think I actually just shipped something to this dude, and he just sent a dope-ass fucking email with some cool shit. Where was I? Tomorrow is the fair day, goat. Tomorrow is fair day, which might be today when you're hearing this. Gonna go see the fair, the Great New York State Fair. Probably go see Zeph, though. I'm thinking he's gonna pop in at the end of the day, and I love seeing him, so I gotta grab a couple things and get them together for him. Even though he'll be like, no, and I'll be like, here, take this, motherfucker. So shit, I think last time I seen him, I hit him with the Tiffany Blue, and then when we left the fair, all I could see was Zeph tags and Tiffany Blue all the way up to the fucking car. Shout out Zeph and fucking Lost and fucking Vacant. Is it Vacant? Yeah, it's Vacant. So I'll be doing, and I gotta work tonight, so I can't like fucking do this later. I gotta work late. I got all kinds of fucking shit to do, and then I'm leaving early tomorrow. So it's a fucking, so I don't know when this is going to come out. I might just say fuck it and put it out Thursday, or there's a little thing on the site where I could make it, drop at fucking 1:00 fucking Friday morning, which I might do that too. I don't know. But either way, whenever you're hearing this, shout out to you for being here, man. Shout out to you for being here and on fucking episode 30, I was talking about shit. And then it made me think about something. Like I started doing the podcast because of the Graffiti Machine podcast, because I saw what Bus at Machine Studio was doing, and I was like, oh, he's doing, it's kind of like they're not fucking hour long. Well, me, I could do an hour droning on some days, but he does not do like hour long drone on fucking things. And I was like, damn, that's actually good format, fucking 15, 20 minutes, fucking, just do what you got to do, get to the fucking material, fucking bam, 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 run through it. Sounds good. And I was like, damn, I wish I could do something like that. But mine turned into more of like a fucking blog, vlog, audio journal, and journal, and a log, an audio log, of just like what the fuck's going on. But that's kind of what I'm happy that it turned into that, because at the beginning of this, I had all these topics, and I would like, I just had a whistle. I never used to have a gap in my teeth. That's what happens when you get old. Shit starts spacing out. What the fuck was I saying? I used to write down notes and fucking have all this shit, and I would really put like a lot of thought into like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna talk about, and it was all this like fucking, and how this, graffiti and blah blah blah, and then it got to the point where I was just like, man, everyone already knows I'm in the graffiti world. This isn't a fucking graffiti podcast. This is the fucking Devastator podcast where I just talk about shit. And maybe it's graffiti related. Maybe it's Devastator related. Maybe it's fucking I had a road rage incident related. Or like today. Today we're going to talk about the time I worked my way onto the cable TV. I was listening to... The fuck did I listen to? It was a podcast. I can't even remember who the fuck it was. It was on YouTube. I saw a clip. That's what it was. I'm trying to think of what the fucking clip was. It was some wrestling fucking whatever. And I was like, oh yeah. And then it was like Kevin Nash. And I was like, oh yeah, Kevin Nash. So they said, oh, Kevin Nash podcast. And I was like, oh shit. So I went to the Kevin Nash podcast. I started listening to that. And I was like, "Oh shit, this is entertaining. This brings me back." These they're talking about things that I know about because like my football and my wrestling knowledge is like very time period specific. So like the things that I know about wrestling are like the mid to late 90s to the really early 2000s, 2001, 02, probably right around there. I was into wrestling like I think a lot of people were. In football, the same. Actually, I kind of phased out of football even earlier, probably like 2000. I was like done with fucking football, and I'm kind of back into football, but all that time in between here in the last few, I'm not even back into football. I just like watching the Bills because Erica likes the Bills. So I was like, all right, give us something to fucking root for and, something to do together on the weekends and shit when it's football season. Anyway, so I got like all my football knowledge is like fucking 90s play, even basketball too, because I collected basketball cards. I didn't really watch basketball. Never really been a fan of watching basketball, but I did like collecting cards. So I know like all the fucking obscure fucking 90s fucking like anyway. So I started thinking about wrestling, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like I fucking jumped over the shit, and I was on Monday Nitro back in fucking 1998. And I have the video, the fucking cassette somebody recorded at my mother's house, and it was always like, it was a dub off of TV over some other shit. And if you don't know about dubbing VHS tapes, because I'm assuming that half of our listening audience knows what a VHS tape is, and the other half just has seen what they are, or well, I should say has used a VHS, and the other half knows what they are, maybe. Sorry, y'all. But so if you would fucking dub, like if you got a brand new blank tape and recorded something on it and kept it that, the quality was alright, it was decent. But if you dubbed over it a lot, like multiple times, the quality, and it wasn't like totally unwatchable, especially back then. You'd be like, oh yeah, I fucking dubbed it. Our quality standards didn't seem the same as they are now, because everything's fucking super high def, this and that. It's a little fuzzy. Like, what the fuck? And now I look at shit, I'm like, holy fuck, I used to watch this fucking VHS tape all the goddamn time. There's no way I could watch that right now. Anyway, so I had the VHS tape of this event, and it was always like fucking, fucked up and fucking foggy and like shitty looking. So this whole chain of events made me think about this, and then all of a sudden I had the thought. I was like, there's gotta be somebody with it like a high def upload now. Like these days with the wrestling culture the way it is, there's gotta be, even though it was fucking in 1998, and sure enough, with about 5 minutes of fucking Googling, first I had to, because I couldn't remember the date actually. I knew it was like 98, 99, but I just typed in fucking Monday Nitro, Rochester, New York, 19 fucking whatever it was, and I knew it was right after my birthday, so I was like, oh, there it is, September 28th, fucking Rochester, New York, Monday Nitro, blah blah blah, and boom, there it was on some fucking site. I had to go to a downloader for this, whatever the fuck it was, and I was able to download the whole shit in a fucking high quality fucking file. Like the internet is the devil, but it also does some cool shit sometimes. So I downloaded this shit and I cut out the parts. I was very familiar with where the fucking parts of me were because I watched that VHS tape and showed so many fucking people over the years back then that I was able to like skip right to them, cut them out and shit. And so I wanted to tell you about that experience. So my dad took myself, my stepmother, my stepsister. We all went to the wrestling thing, and they went with this dude, Billy, his wife, and their son Sean, and I think like 2 other people were there, and we were all together, and it wasn't even the plan. Like we were down front, like down as close as you could get. It was like standing room, and we kind of weaseled our way to the front, you know, as being kids and shit, and watching everyone come out. And the kid Sean was like, "Yo, we should jump over and do this." And I was like, "You think so?" You know, we're talking about it a little bit. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I want to do it with the Wolfpack because I was, you know, fucking Wolfpack fan. And so I don't even know, like, if it was exactly like, all right, this one I'm going to do. It was just going to be at a time when the fucking NWO Wolfpack came out. And I was like, all right. So then fucking it was Kevin Nash. And the first time I went by myself. So I jumped over. I ran up the fucking thing. He gave me the Wolfpack thing. I almost slipped and broke my fucking neck because my jeans were so long. They went over my shoes, like, you know, they were some Jinx. And they went over. Actually, they might not have been Jinx, though. I don't know. Maybe they were Jinx. And they went over my whole fucking foot. And when I fucking turned around after doing the Wolfpack fucking thing, my foot, so you can actually see it, like my foot slips. I was hyped, though. And so I did that, and I walked off, and they fucking tackled me. They didn't tackle me that time. They fucking grabbed me, and it was like a real violent, aggressive security fucking snatched me up. And then they fucking like opened like a gate and pushed me through this gate. And the guy said, there was a dude I think he was in yellow at the top of a fucking stairway, like going up. And he said, "You're fucking out of here." He's like, "You go up to that guy in the yellow and he's going to get you out of here." And I was like, okay. So I started fucking going up the stairs, and I was like, fuck, I'm about to get thrown out. And then I looked back, and the guy who told me to go up the stairs, I was like sure he was behind me, and he wasn't behind me. And I'm looking, and the guy at the top of the stairs, like, didn't even really look like he was paying attention. Like, he wasn't watching me come up the stairs. So I just cut across the middle of the fucking thing and went back to our seats. And I told my dad, I was like, he was like kind of pissed. He's like, all right, don't be fucking around. Jesus, what the fuck, you know? You know, he thought it was funny because I wasn't, you know, I'm back. I'm here, you know, whatever. So then we went back down again. And this time, the kid, Sean, was like, I'm going to fucking do it with you. And I was like, all right, well, this is how you got to do it. Like, if you go right here, you can get all the way out there before they get you. And I was like, all right, word. So then I think it was the whole Wolfpack, or most of them came out again. And fucking jumped over. I fucking did the Wolfpack thing to Lex Luger. At this time, fucking security they were fucking not happy. this time they slammed both of us on the ground, like on the fucking concrete. The guy grabbed me and fucking slammed me down. I was like, fuck. You don't see that shit on the damn video. So they slammed me, they slammed him, and they picked us up. And the fucking security guy was like talking to me like how you talk to your kids when you're pissed off but you're in public. He was like, "Oh, you fucked up now. You fuck." And he picked me up and put me in like a full Nelson. So my arms were up in the air, and people were yelling and shit. They're like, people started kind of like yelling at the security when they fucking slammed us on the ground on the fucking cop. Dude, I was like a little ass kid, man. I mean, you look at the video, you could see I was a little kid, like small and young. I was small, and they fucking manhandled the shit out of us, right? So then I started talking shit after I got my fucking bearings, and they were carrying us back. And I don't remember what it was, because I got slammed twice. I don't know if he lost grip or gave me to someone else, but I was like, I hit my fucking head on the pavement, or maybe, I don't know, whatever it was. They like fucking snatched me up. There was a lot going on and a lot fucking of slamming and fucking. So this time now they're carrying me and Sean like within the full Nelson. And they carry us through the side. I can't remember if there was a door. There was definitely a curtain. And when we went through the curtain, Scott Hall was back there. And he had a fucking cup full of beer. It looked like beer. And he held the cup, like the rim of the Solo cup, in his fucking teeth. And put his hands behind his back. And he was like moving his hands, like we were like he liked to slap his hands and shit, but we were fucking hemmed up. But I don't know if he was like fucking with us. We were like, oh shit. So then we're taking a walk all through the back. There's like people fucking everywhere too. There's a lot of people all over, wrestlers and all kinds of shit going on. And we're back through, and then we turn, and then there's this rather large woman sitting by a door. And I think it was down a couple steps, and she says, "Were they fighting?" or something like that. And he goes, "No, he likes being on TV." And you remember in Casino when they open the guy's open the door with the guy's head? I want you to open the door with his fucking head. They didn't open the door with my head, but he definitely opened the door using me like a fucking shield. Slammed me into the fucking door and the push bar. The door flies open. I went out the one door. There was, the two doors. Boom, fucking, I go out the one door. They opened the door. I want to say I went out the right door, and Sean went out the left door. They opened the door with him, and they threw us both into the fucking sidewalk. Bam, fucking, we roll. That was like in the movies, got thrown. Boom, 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 boom. Then the doors close. There's no door handles and shit on the doors. It's just door closed. Bam. And all there is a line of fucking limos waiting for people. And we were fucking, oh shit, this is dope. I'm like, fuck. He's like, my fucking head. I was like, me too. I was like, we're fucked up. But we weren't bleeding or anything or dead. Fucking, we got roughed up and thrown the fuck out of there. Excuse me. But then I was like, fuck. Like, how do we get back in? So my dad, my dad and his dad ended up coming out, I don't know, within a few minutes. Maybe 20 minutes, because we couldn't get back in. We had no ticket stubs or any of that shit. And we couldn't get back in the fucking venue. And we didn't really know if anyone knew that, if they seen us get carried out or what, or if we were going to have to wait out the whole rest of the night, even though the night was winding down. So then my dad and his dad ended up coming out, and he's like, what the fuck? I told you not to do it again, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yo, we were fucking on fucking TV again. Because at that point, we didn't even know. Like, I didn't know if I was actually on TV or not. You know, you're just hoping that you were. And so then, I can't remember, the event let out. And he was looking for my stepmother and Billy's wife. And it took them mad long to get outside. So my dad was pissed. He was like, what the fuck? He was like, what like, we're trying to get, like, it was like, we ended up waiting out there with our dads for like an hour. I guess my dad jumped over after me and was like, where the fuck did you take him? And they realized that he wasn't like trying to jump over for wrestlers. He was like fucking trying to find out where I went. And they said, he's fucking out the door. So finally my stepmother comes out. She's fucking wasted. And we're fucking we're in the parking garage. I think we're in the parking garage. Yeah, we were in the parking garage, and somehow or another they're arguing. And she leans over and starts punching my dad in the fucking face on some psycho shit, right? My dad is like, what the fuck? So he gets out of the fucking, they had an Explorer. He gets out of there and he was like, fuck this. You're fucking crazy. I'm out of here. And I was mad. I was upset at the whole thing. So I got out and I was like, what the fuck? You know, acting like a tough guy. And I punched the fucking concrete of the fucking parking garage. And my hand swelled up like a fucking balloon. And I was like, oh, shit. So I get back in the fucking vehicle. My dad's fucking gone. My stepmother's a fucking raving lunatic. And I'm with Sean and my stepsister. Or no, Sean wasn't. No. Sean wasn't in the vehicle. He rode with us there, but not back. And it was me, my stepmother, and my stepsister. And they were like, your hand is fucking broken. And I was like, nah, it's not broken. And as soon as they started saying my hand was broken, and I said, no, it's not, I started thinking, damn, I bet you I could get off of school tomorrow. So I said, I like waited a couple minutes, and I was like, you know, my hand is starting to hurt a little bit. And she's like, we need to take you to the hospital. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So then I went and spent fucking 3 or 4 hours in the emergency room getting x-rays and shit, and they fucking wrapped the ice pack on my hand and fucking, that was it. It wasn't broken or nothing. So then I got home, and my dad had already, he took a cab and got home, and he already called my mother and Steve and was like, this is what happened, this is where Kyle's at, blah, blah, blah. So I got home, and it was real late, and fucking, and my mom and Steve were like, they felt bad for me because of all the fighting and shit that was going on, and because that type of shit didn't happen. You know, it didn't really happen a lot anyway in my life, but that was one of the fucking times that it did. So they were more upset that all happened and shit. And I was home real late, and I remember I woke up in the morning and it was like 9 o'clock or some shit. 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, yeah, I got to stay home from school. Probably because they fucking thought I was traumatized from the whole shit. And then by the end of the next week or so, the tape came from Sean and Billy's family. They had recorded it, and the tape made its way to me, and I ended up being on the shit twice, and Sean fucking got slammed and fucking thrown out on his face out on the sidewalk, and he never even got on. Never even made it to the old television. So that's the wrestling story. And then, so while I was looking up the video, once I found out the date, and then you know, I looked it up from there. I came across like I don't know if it was not a forum, but like a website that reviews all these wrestling occasions, and that was there, and I was like, okay, because that was the first place I thought I actually was gonna find it. I did not find it there, but I was like, okay, I'm on the right track. But this guy did like commentary about the whole thing, and he mentioned, and the guy even in the write-up is like, who is that? Oh, the kid again shows back up. Like, you could look it up. It's there if you so feel like it. It was kind of a funny write-up. And he's like, some kid wearing Jinkos, fucking blah, 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 blah. And then the second time I did it, he's like, there he is again. So that was cool, man. And that was a good time. It was a time I kind of forget that happened sometimes. I was wearing a fucking South Park hat. I know that. I remember that because I love that fucking hat. Damn, I'm pulling on these fucking sound things that I glued to the fucking wall, and these bitches are just going to be here because I don't think they're going to come off without ruining them, so I might as well just fucking keep them there. So the studio will look cool. Or the studio, the fucking equipment room will look cool. So that's all I got, man. That's it. Yeah, that's what happened. That was the wrestling story. What the fuck else did I want to tell? Upon some thinking and some and some talking with people, and I don't think I'm gonna do the budget shit. You know, I was thinking about it, and my intentions were kind of in the right place, I feel like. But I don't think the execution would be favorable for Devastator here, and I'll tell you why too. You know me, I like to keep it transparent, and there was multiple reasons. The one reason is when I really sat down and wrote the shit out, like I was having trouble like visualizing this whole thing. You know, I was like, how the fuck am I gonna, you know, how do I do this? What I couldn't like visualize the formula and breaking it down or doing whatever I had to do. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. So I wrote it all down on how I would make. I think I wrote down just Violet, right? I wrote down all the shit for Violet, and I'm like, all right, what could I take away from this? You know, to cut my cost, obviously, so I could cut the bottom line. And I'm like, well, I can't really cut the base. And I'm like, can't really cut the pigment. I can't really cut the packaging, you know, like the fucking, you know. And so as I went down, and I'm like, all right, well, let's do like a BGPT, because I'm not allowed to say the other thing. And I was like, well, maybe that one, because that's got more to it. And I was like, anything I take away from this, it's like the product has the potential to blow. And I know the plan was like a budget product, but I didn't want to put out some bullshit, because if that's the case, I'll just put out some bullshit, you know? Like, I still wanted it to be good. I just wanted it to be whatever. And then I kind of had to think about it and say, I'm pretty fucking affordable as it is, you know? And then it sets the standard really low. Then I have which I will say, I mean, it wouldn't be unusable, but it would definitely be a purposely inferior product that I would put out into the world. And unfortunately, things like that will bring in people who might have who might fucking be the people who I don't like dealing with. You know, when they're bitching about their $4 fucking scribe, you know, shit like that. How long is this going to last me? It's going to last you $4.50. That's how long it's going to last. That's how much. Okay, so imagine that, the questions I get about that, but then on something else, in several different items, and I hate to say it because I'm a cheap fuck myself, but unfortunately I don't want to wave the fucking, ring the fucking dinner bell on fucking cheap fucks, because for some reason, I'm cheap as fuck, but I have zero fucking complaints about things that I buy when I buy them. And if something's fucked up, if my meal or whatever is fucked up at a restaurant, I never send it back. I never mention that it's fucked up. I just make a mental note of it and say either I ain't going to eat here anymore or I'm not going to get that again. If I buy something that's fucked up online and I show up and I'm like, oh, this is smaller than I thought or whatever. That's it. I got it now. And I'll keep it fucking forever and I'll never use it or wear it. But that doesn't tend to be the case a lot of times. So I'm not looking forward to fucking dealing with people crying about their fucking $4 fucking thing. And it just, I don't want to purposely set the standards lower. And the couple of dollars that it would save somebody, literally like a couple bucks, would not be worth sacrificing the standards that I already have in place. So I'm going to try to create something new and good. And I'm going to try to, instead of making a cheaper product, I'm going to make a fucking quality product. And I'm going to put that same energy into, coming out with something new, maybe a new color, maybe a new base, 4 colors or something. But that's the plan. I'm not gonna, and you know what, man? I don't want to do that to you guys. I don't want to fucking cheap out on some shit. And there's people out there that spend their fucking hard-earned dough, as I always have said, and they spend their hard-earned fucking money and then be like, oh, here's some fucking, here for all the people who don't want to spend their money or who want to spend less money. Here's this for you guys. And I don't want, unfortunately, I don't want to cater specifically to, I do want to cater to people that don't have it that good, but I think I already do that already because I'm one of them. I think I do that well enough. So, a lot of things there's, as you can see, there's been a lot of thought into that. So that's all. All right. Let me see. I think that's all I got. So that's it. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. Well, I got something, but that's it. I love you guys, man. Thanks for always coming and checking in and listening and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to fucking put this out, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys and everything. Shout out Machine Studio. Shout out fucking Punch Marker. Shout out everybody. Shout out all you guys, man. You guys are all awesome. Shout out MKA. Shout out Zeph. Shout out Pep. Shout out Dick. Shout out fucking who else we got? All you guys. All you animals. I fuck with everybody, man. I'll see you soon. I love you guys. Be good.